Northern Kenya, which is largely semi-arid, is predominantly occupied by nomadic people. It is also home to refugees from neighboring countries who have been displaced by either drought or conflict. At the peak of the Horn of Africa drought in 2011, approximately 200,000 Somali refugees were displaced. These stretched further the capacity of the refugee camps and, by extension, the coping capacity on the refugee host communities.
Northern Kenya, particularly Dadaab and Kakuma, are the two places that have received over the years large number of refugees from Somalia mainly, but also from other places. The number of refugees have grown over the years. Dadaab has become the largest refugee camp in the world. As a result, a lot of pressure has been put on the environment. The livelihood of the people have been affected negatively by that.
IOM, in collaboration with the government of Kenya and with financial support from the people of Japan, sought to provide immediate assistance and build resilience of the refugees and the refugee host communities impacted by drought and the refugee influx in northern Kenya.
IOM is a non-UN international organization which has a very ample experiences and know-how concerning various wide-ranging issues which are related to the movement or migration of people. And based on the, I think, basic recognition that if movement or migration of people are conducted orderly while respecting the basic human rights and dignity of those people, and then that will contribute to those moving people themselves and also the host community or receiving communities.
We started our work with focus on the refugees, particularly facilitating the resettlement of those who have been accepted to go to other countries. And this is IOM traditional area of work. But over the years, we recognize that we need also to delve into the care and maintenance area and provide help to UNHCR, the government and other partners in order to reduce the burden of the refugees that is started to increase in recent years.
The project, which runs in Kakuma, Kapenguria, Dadaab and Garissa areas of Kenya, seeks to address critical gaps in drought response through efforts such as peace building and psychosocial support, livelihoods and health.
Large number of pastoralists move around, and when there is less pasture or water, they even migrate further. And not always that migration is safe. There's resource-based conflicts around it, there's cattle wrestling, and the situation is often worsened by the easy access to small arms and weapons. And for that reason, we found it important to step up our reconciliation efforts, bring the pastoralist communities together, try to help them to have dialogue among themselves and across the border so that they could reach agreements that would facilitate safe movement of pastoralists within Kenya and across the borders.
IOM has assisted in organizing various meetings to ensure that different communities, those which neighbor this county, like the Turkana and even the Sabine recently, just some 2 to 3 days ago, the Ugandans were able to meet the Sabine with the residents of this county and those from Trans Nzoia country.
We reach out to the warriors because this is a pastoral community. These guys move from place to place.
Whenever there is less resources, the tendency for resource-based conflict will be high.
I have raided the Toposa, Dodos, and Mokora. I took cattle from them, and that is what I used to pay as dowry for my wives. We believe that once you kill a person during a raid, you have to shed your own blood. Each line represents the number of people I have killed.
We do sensitization, we do peace sensitization We do awareness campaigns to them and tell them, you see, you can live in peace, you can live in harmony. Today we've done the sports activities for the former warriors. We're encouraging warriors to engage in sports activities, keeping them busy, engaging the young people so that they don't need to go to back to the lifestyle of the older generation.
I now know that raids are very dangerous and that they cost lives. We should initiate peace and find alternative livelihoods methods. I prefer it when my sons play soccer as opposed to raiding. At least then, I am assured my children will come back home at the end of the day.
It is every woman's desire to have peace. The raids have killed our sons and many women have been widowed. We want peace and we want it quickly.
After IOM leaves Turkana, we have structures, the peace structures will be able to enable the community to continue and coexist peacefully.
Okay, we have had peace. We have gone to Narus and played soccer with former warriors who we used to raid before. We are very happy for the sports initiative because we have never come together like this before.
With the influx of refugees, the host communities are not only affected physically but psychologically as well. IOM, with a team of counsellors, offer psychological support to the affected in the host communities.
We do basic counseling. Because of the resource-based conflict, people are traumatized after the raids, after the war. People are killed. When the warriors go out, some of them lose their lives, their wives, their families back at home, they lose their loved ones, they are traumatized.
I was a pastoralist before my animals succumbed to the drought, so I turned to business. The market where I used to conduct my business from burnt down and I was left with nothing. I lost a lot of money. I decided to buy a gun and commit suicide. The IOM came in and gave me psychosocial support. I have since started my business from scratch with the hope that it will grow again.
I have actually supported and educated some of the community problems, especially the women. There were some issues that were really disturbing them, like the issue of a duck who is moving at night, a rapist.
One day I went to fetch firewood in Dadaab when some men approached me. They attempted to rape me, but I was assisted by good Samaritans.
So we reach out, we do sensitization. We do sensitization on the reporting mechanism, on how to report cases when they happen, on who to run to for help, on what to do when such things happen.
IOM called for a session and asked us to share some of the issues affecting us. People started narrating their stories and I got the courage to share mine. My neighbor was raped a while back. Because of the psychosocial sessions by IOM, I was able to identify her as a rape victim. I went to her and talked to her and she was able to confide in me. I took her to the hospital and she got treated. I approached her parents and told them what had happened. The lady is now okay and I thank IOM for the training.
There are people who have been engaging in conflict, and because we are trying to stop conflict, we realize that they do not have alternative sources of livelihood. Hence, there's need to take them for training so that they can start looking at other avenues for income generating.
I am a boda operator and I love my job. Since IOM gave me this bicycle, I am happy and doing my job with great morale. I would rather do this job, however masculine, than go into prostitution that will leave me with sexually transmitted diseases. IOM, collaborating with the Ministry of Agriculture, has done agricultural interventions by distributing drought-resistant seeds and conducting trainings on crop culture development.
We started this farm after the drought cleared our animals. The area is drought affected, but our crops are doing very well. When IOM conducted an assessment, they realized that we are hardworking and decided to award us. I was the UN Person of the Year in 2012.
We are partnering with IOM to do whatever we have done today. That is improvement of the goat breed, dairy goat breed in this area. The local goats, they have contributed to the degradation of the environment. Their production is low, and that's why they are kept in large numbers. And the larger the number, the effect on the environment is big. We are improving this breed because we know the German Alpine breed, the milk production is high. So what we are doing today, we have provided 18 bucks and two females. We are looking at a long-term benefit. We are introducing a gene here for milk production. That's why we're bringing more males so that we can improve that gene that controls milk production in the local population.
IOM, with the help of the Fisheries Ministry, has done developments in the fisheries industry.
In Lake Turkana, initially, we had over 5,000 fishers using rafts, whereby these are just two logs joined together to do fishing. And when IOM came in, they provided that 5 boats, timber boats, that's for fishing, which directly benefited 185 persons, those are fishers. And we find that the catch per unit effort of those guys improved from an average of 10 kgs per day to over 30 kgs per day.
I used to be a herdsman. I had many cattle and donkeys, and they were all cleared by the drought. I came to Kalokol and became a fisherman. IOM came and gave us better fishing nets than what we had before. We are now able to venture into deep sea fishing and get better and bigger fish. I am happy and content with what I have. I have no intention of asking for more help. I have been able to take my children to school and provide for my family.
When IOM came in, we have changed. We have changed from even cattle rustling, and now we are able to realize there are other sources of income.
The mobile teams actually they go out where the people is, and they provide advocacy in order to improve the hygiene and the sanitation conditions, support to the whatever local health system that exists in order to be equipped with supplies, and in some cases we provide training but also infrastructural rehabilitation of whatever facilities that we have, and we do the what we call the communication and educational campaigns. We have also extended that a little bit to the area of cholera response because of the outbreak of cholera, especially when there is less water or too much water.
We have been having open defecation in the ground, and when the rains come, the defecation is washed into the shallow wells, and then the water is collected and it is used. We had an outbreak of cholera, and we had about 150 people affected with the cholera disease, and about 10 people succumbed to the cholera outbreak.
IOM has established mobile health support systems both in Dadaab and Kakuma to reach out to marginalized communities as well as those that are forced to migrate in search of water and pasture. IOM's team of qualified medical staff undertake preventive measures as well as recommend further specialized treatment when appropriate. IOM also sponsors staff from the Ministry of Health to conduct medical outreach in places where IOM's team's movement are restricted due to insecurity. The health assistance offered by IOM has 6 components, which include taking care of minor illnesses, distribution of chlorine tablets for water treatment, maternal health, immunization for children, health education, and school health education, where IOM staff go to schools, treat minor illnesses, promote hygiene, and hand washing.
The nearest health center was 15 kilometers away. We are grateful to IOM for opening this health center. We do not have to travel far for medical assistance.
Before IOM came in, we used to ferry people to Saredo and Dadaab for medical care. We trekked for long distances, using hand carts as a means of transportation. IOM now gives us free medical care right here in the community, and we do not have to travel far. We are very happy.
With the knowledge that we have passed around, that people have got to start using latrines, people have got to using what we call cut methods. They have got to make small shallow holes into the ground, and they cover it after they have used holes. We are finding that they are adjusting slowly to this, as it has been a taboo in their community not to use a latrine.
Even with the successes, this project still faces major challenges.
In less than 3 to 6 months, the number of the refugee camp population has almost increased by 1/4, if not 1/3. And that means a situation created where the camps became congested. So there was a need to decongest the camps.
We also have a problem of insecurity because of the raids and because of the cattle rustling and from the neighboring communities. Sometimes you are caught in the middle, of the crossfire.
People move from one place to another place in search of pasture for their cattle. So you find that you move in to do one case, and when you come back, you find the whole village has completely moved.
When it rains from Uganda, the water flows and you are not able to reach out to the community, so you are stuck with your aid on this other side.
The recent positive development is the devolution of power into the regions and the creation of 47 counties. And hopefully with that change, which came with the new constitution in 2010, now more possibilities for development and opportunities for a better future would be created in places where traditionally were seen as marginalized or neglected. An improved resilience and coping mechanism will help these communities to address better the adverse effects of climate change. And as we know, all the expectations that climate change will continue to be with us for some time to come. So we better be prepared than not. So this is one hope. The second hope that migration will be mainstream to the development, but also to the local government development blueprints to be part of the adaptation strategies to climate change. I hope that IOM will help to bring that change, will help to stand by county authorities in terms of taking leadership, ownership for addressing the development needs and the challenges that are affecting the pastoralist communities in particular, building a vision where migration would be a positive contributor rather than a negative, and helping the communities there to be more resilient.
I certainly see the positive benefit the activities of IOM having been making.